once we've realized all of those goals, once we've satisfied all those whys, that's when we actually have a bigger impact on the world. A far greater impact on the people outside of us, when we feel completely safe and satisfied with what we have. Now, lastly, what I wanted to go through is nine groupings of goals. So the last activity that I had you do, it was to go through, write out a description of your goal in vivid detail. Now, I did this, and I wrote it in this new journal last night just to show you what it would look like. Okay? So this is my goal, a detailed version of my goal. It took a page and a half of small writing. Okay? Yours might be a little bit less than that. It might be a little bit more than that. I would suggest that if this is your goal, you're not exploring it vividly enough. Okay? In here, I'm talking about every one of my senses on multiple levels many times. And I'm talking about emotional things a lot of times. And some of these goals, some of this, what I'm describing, wouldn't even make sense to most of you, because it's something that I've been talking about with my wife, or something that we've been dreaming together, or whatever. Okay? So you'd be like, really? Why'd you put that in there? Well, for us, it hits something deeper. So this is actually what I want you to do going forward. I'm going to give you 9 groupings of goals where this might help you with the list of 30. It might help you with putting together more detail in your picture. So maybe your picture is more focused on money. Great. Now add in health. Add in other aspects to bring out the detail of what that wealth looks like. Does that make sense? Okay, here are the 9 areas. Number 1, financial. Think about something financial. Number 2, the daily activities that you are involved in. That might be sleeping in a hammock. That might be running around the world. That might be working. I'm not going to put my expectations on you. This has got to be you, okay? So first, finances. 2, day-to-day. What does the normal day look like for you? Okay, what are the activities on a daily basis? Number 3, your physical health. I herniated a disc 8 years ago on my back. So for me, physical health moving forward is continuing to have a really strong, healthy back. Number 4, mental/emotional health. For some of you, this will be a bigger deal. For some of you, it will be a lesser deal. For some of you, you've got maybe mental health concerns in family members or yourself, or you've experienced it in the past. Or emotional health. For some of you, you haven't. So it'll have different connotations for you. That's okay. Next, education and growth. You definitely have to have education and growth in your goal somewhere. What does it look like? Who have you become? What have you learned? How have you grown? Next. Actually, no, I'm going to put that at the end. Sorry. Next, I'm going to put relationships. So bring relationships into this picture. Next is rest. What does rest look like as you enter your goal? Now, I'm not talking about sleep. I'm talking like emotional rest, spiritual rest, relationship rest. Like, how do you take care of yourself in this way? Next is self-transcendence. And because these go together in some ways, is legacy. So 8, self-transcendence, is when you start going, what is this going to make, what difference does this make in my community? What difference does this make outside of just me? Cover all of these first. Be selfish first. Trust me, it will be better for everyone. You and the people around you. And also, think about how outside of yourself matters. And think about what you're going to leave behind. What does this mean for leaving something behind? Is this going to be for family? Is this going to be for the world? Is this going to be for, like, what? Okay? For some pharaohs, it was just about themselves, right? And just look at how great I was. I doubt that's what it's going to be for most of you, okay? Yeah, it might be, I don't know.
What this mean?
Self-transcendence. So just getting outside of yourself, transcending, going beyond yourself. So, like, if your goals are with money, maybe you have what you're going to have in your life. Maybe you talk about how, like, you'll have the best physical trainer in the world who works with you on a daily basis every hour or an hour every day, okay? Maybe that's part of your day-to-day. And you're starting to fill that stuff out. But at the end, you go, and I start investing my money in these kinds of things, in my community in these ways.
Like, a philanthropist or
Absolutely.
something like that.
Absolutely.
Some charities.
Yeah, so for Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, it's again like malaria and stuff like that. Okay? And then legacy is what you leave behind for others. So that might be tied, that might be the same thing. Maybe it's that you grow this bursary for people from Afghanistan, young women in Afghanistan, and you leave enough money there that for the next 100 years there's enough money for people to get education. Does that make sense? So that's when it goes into self-transcendence and legacy. Any questions about this? Use these areas to just fill this out more. You don't necessarily have to have every one of them deeply involved there. That's okay. Especially if your goal is like a year down the road. Self-transcendence and legacy probably aren't like the top two on the list, right? That's okay. It's okay. But the more groups you can bring into this, the better. And what I want you to do long term is, so fill it out, write it out until you've got it where you want it. Now I used my computer to write it out until I got it where I wanted it. But as soon as I did that, I started writing it in a journal. And every night, before I go to bed, I write it out again. Do you know how long this takes me to write out? It takes, I'm not a fast printer. And this is messy, I can barely read it. Okay? This takes me like 15, 20 minutes to write out. Now, some people think about that, or look at that and go, what are you doing? It's such a waste of time. And I go the exact opposite. I'm taking 20 minutes to emotionally get involved with the thing that I want. That's exactly what I'm trying to teach you guys to do. So use your journal for this year. This is one way you could use your journal. Or maybe you buy a different journal and just write it out over and over and over and over again. Okay? Whatever. This is a great way to use all these skills. You're using a bunch of neurons to involve yourself emotionally in your purpose and goal, something you're passionate about. It's exactly what I want you to be doing. If you do this consistently, you will see a change in yourself in about 3 weeks. Okay? Trust me. Do it for a few weeks consistently, and you'll see a change.
Is this, what you have written there, is that 18 months, or is that your much longer?
This is, so this goal specifically is January 19th, 2018. Okay. So it's less than a year. I wrote it out, when I started it, it was a while back, it was a few months ago, so it was about a year-long goal.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said you write it out every day?
Every evening.
It
You
changes
change
every
it or you
Same thing.
Same thing.
Same exact thing, same exact words. Sometimes I'll make a small change. Every once in a while, especially in the first few weeks, I would find there's one thing that I'm like, I like the sound of this word more than this word. So I would change that word. But yeah, very small changes.
And do you write it from memory now?
No, I'm still far from memory. But yeah, now I read a sentence and then write out the sentence, even if it's like this long.
So you can read it from your computer and...
Well, usually I read it from my former page.
Okay.
So I like flip back, look at it, put myself there, write it out.
Okay.
Put myself, and I'm using words. Like I'm using words in the places that I'm going to be that are specific to that place. So it took me a while to even learn the words to pronounce them and stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
But I get emotionally involved. Like instead of saying that volcano, I write the name of the volcano, and then I'm more emotionally involved. I'm more engaged in it. It's bringing it more vividly to my attention. We gotta go, right?